So if you have grown up in an environment that you didn't find necessarily healthy or found somehow toxic or prevents you now from knowing yourself to be pure love, to be unconditional love, then I invite you to really, really take what I say right now seriously. And that is to understand that if it's already been done, you don't need to redo it. If it's already been done, they did it so that you wouldn't have to. They didn't do it to pass it on to you so that you live through that story yourself. And yet we see that time and again, so many people repeat patterns because they don't know how to let go of it. And so they can work through lots of stuff and do lots of writing and journaling and meditation, all the rest of it. And it takes a shift in perspective. And that shift in perspective is if you can honestly say, I've seen it, it's not what I choose. Now, I don't want to choose the opposite of that, because again, that's what a lot of people do. They go, oh, you know, they always argued, so I'm going to meet somebody who I never argue with. Well, that's not necessarily healthy either, because when you end up sort of going from one to the other, what happens is you're still choosing the same thing, but in polarity. And when you choose transcendence, when you are willing to go, well, if that's been done, I want to choose something that is higher than that, of a higher vibration, a higher energy, higher level of consciousness. And that is the active work that the feminine energy has to work with. The feminine energy has to work with actively raising consciousness. So a lot of the work that we do is not so much about easing our own suffering. It's more to do with actually raising our level of consciousness and choosing consciously to let go of the old patterns that no longer serve us, that were never meant for us to copy. You know, we think that that's what we have to do, because how do we learn to speak? We copy. How do we learn to walk? We copy. We see, we observe, and we copy what we see and observe. And it gets embedded into our psyche and it becomes our truth, but it's not the truth. And the truth we want to come to is that the reason why we observed those things was because we got to make a different choice. And that's something we didn't always understand.